Okay, so let's talk about the purpose or the uses of these numbers here. So the figure that shows when you place your fabric, the figure that comes next indicates the inches you are sewing on. You understand? What am I trying to say? If I keep it this way, this one this 1/4 is showing, which means that I am stitching on quarter inches. So if I place my fabric exactly on this line, this one is one that is showing. Now this figure means 1/4, which is quarter. Alright, so it means that what I'll be stitching on is quarter, as long as my fabric stops on this line. The first one that is showing indicates what I'm stitching. So look at it. So this is quarter of an inch. You understand? So this is quarter of an inch because 1/4 is showing here. Now let's move it to a little bit further to this one. So simply, the simple way to use these numbers, this is 1 inches, this is quarter inches, and then this is half inches, and then this is quarter inches. Do you understand? So any figure that is showing when you place your fabric is what you are stitching on. So remember that it was on this way, and it is 1/4 that is showing. That means I'm stitching on quarter inches. Now if we move it further to this point, covering this quarter inches, it means now that if you measure it from this point, from the point I'm staying now, this line here is quarter. This is quarter inches. So sorry, this is half, rather. This is half inches. This is half inches. Alright, so let me show you what I mean. So because this half inches is showing, this is it. So if you place your clothes or your fabric exactly at this line and make continually go that way, continually going that way, you find out that you are stitching on half inches. So if you check it now, you see that this is half. Look at it exactly on that line. You can see that this is it. This is the stitches and this is the space. So this is exactly half inches. Hope you understand. So the purpose of these lines here is just to mark your stitches when sewing your fabric. You understand? So with these lines here or these numbers here, you can use it to know. Let's assume you want to sew using a 1 inches of sewing allowance, 2 inches sewing allowance, 1.5 inches sewing allowance. You understand? So this is half inches. This one now is half, and then this one is quarter. Now if we cover the half now and move it a bit further, covering the half and now exposing this figure, this is 1/3 here. See that maintaining this straight line now, I have half quarter. This is half quarter line. This is half quarter line. So this is half. For the first line that we did is half, and this is half quarter. Okay. So now if we decide to cover this one also, showing this one, now that means that we'll be stitching on 1 inches of sewing allowance, which is here. Remember that. You can see the line here. Okay, so from this point now, from the point where the needle is to the point here is 1 inches. This is it, which is this one that is showing here. Understand? So if you, so once you maintain this straight line, and go straight down, it's simply 1 inches. And so this is it. It's one here. Exactly at the one line. Hope you can see that 1 inches here. Remember, this first one here is half, half inches. And then this is the first one that we did. This is quarter. Ghana is quarter inches. So simply these numbers here represents the inches. Understand? And anyone that is showing when you place your fabric represents the inches you are sewing on. That's all.